He was rated 1741. In this game, I was rated 1877. Ended up losing this game. The lesson of this game is not to get too cocky and analyze the game as it comes, and even when you have a winning position, just take your time and rethink things over. Alright, so here we go. D4, I am a D4 player. Knight f6, c4, g6. Okay, from here we get into a Grunfeld defense. So now we're back to the position in the game. Black plays d5. I went ahead and played bishop to g5. I'm avoiding the main lines of the Grunfeld. Bishop g7, knight c3, c6, e3, castles. I played bishop e2, a5. I really didn't understand this move, this a5 move from black. I don't know if he was just giving me some time, the waste move. I think black should have probably come with bishop f5. I think that's a lot better because now he's got control over this nice diagonal. My queen can't come into c2. Perhaps I can come to c3 or b3. I'm sorry. You know, the game can go into different directions in this bishop f5 scenario. But a5, I wasn't too sure. I think he needed to develop his queenside pieces here with bishop f5. But instead, to each his own. I castle. He takes, bishop takes b5, taking some squares on the queen side. I retract my bishop to e2. It probably would have been a little bit nicer on d3, but I felt a little bit more comfortable with it coming to e2. On d3, it has a few more squares to go to, and it it comes over here onto this king side, which is nice. But that's what I did. Just stick with bishop e2. Now he played knight d5. I did not like this move at all for black. It's a waste of time. He still lacks development for his queen side. Definitely done something here. Probably, like I said, maybe bishop f5. Maybe knight to d, followed by knight d7 or knight a6. You know, there's several things that he can go on to help push his queenside pawns. But he went with knight to d5. I probably could have taken, but as you can see, I pushed my pushed e4, and now we get to the standard position of the Grunfeld. When we reached this position, I felt like I was already winning. I have a nice center. There's because of that pawn move on a5. Now he's probably gonna move his queen here and attack c3 here. I guess I could have taken. If I take, oh, let's see, he's got queen takes. Follow it. Well, that just wins me a pawn. Maybe knight takes would have been correct. If c takes, bishop takes b5. Okay, so I missed something here. Knight takes is definitely way better. But I played e4. Wow, I can't believe I missed that. Alright. So Bishop e6. I guess this is alright. I was probably thinking he was going to go maybe knight d7 first, but I decided to play a5, a4, sorry, a4. Here, yeah, a4. Still a good move, attacks his queenside pawns. b4, notice that he cannot take. If he takes, just winning for me. This leaves his c pawn and e7 pawns are absolutely horrible. All his queenside pawns are just horrible. I'm winning in this position. So he can't take, so he played correctly by playing b4. b4, I decided to take. Pawn takes. Yeah, pawn takes, pawn takes. Now queen d2. Here I was thinking queen moves to here. I have a threat coming here and a threat coming here, and some potential, attacks on the king side, I guess. So all in all, I thought this was a good move, putting some more pressure on the dark squares. He plays queen b6. This is losing. He probably should have played a move like c5 or b3. I think that probably would have helped him. At queen b6 hangs his pawn. I gladly accept. Now here he pushes b3. He's offering me his rook. And this is where things get hazy for me. I was clearly winning. And this is where I begin to get cocky. The reason why is because in position, especially when I'm playing someone who's rated a little less than me. I've gotten a great advantage in the opening. He's given me a goodie on f8, the rook. So here I spent a few seconds thinking. I decided to take. Okay, bishop takes. Now here's where I get in trouble. And what would you do? I got caught and decided not to reevaluate the position. And I think that's a key thing is even though you're ahead, you need to. So here I played d5. Correct is definitely a5. a5 is outright winning. The queen has to retreat. Let's say queen b7. Now white has a few options where he can either come with rook a b1 or I like rook a b1. The computer suggests knight to g5, which I don't think I would have been able to spot. Bishop h6, f4, and white is just dominating at this point. Rook fb. Let's look at rook fb1. Knight a6. Queen c3. c5. I would probably push d5. What about bishop g7? Knight e5. Bishop c8. Yeah, this is winning for white. But like I said, I played incorrectly here. This is the original position. I played d5. A clear mistake on my part. What I was thinking here was I can back the exchange. I think that's making the move d5 reevaluated. After I played it, I started up for it. So he takes, I take, bishop f5. Now here comes my final mistake. But what should have been, I played knight d4. Now you might be going like, oh my god. Yeah, so did I. Once I realized it. Like I said, I got cocky and I wasn't paying too much attention at this point. The correct definitely what I should have played. Bishop to b5. Bishop b5 blocks off the queen from the defense of the pawn. He could probably play bishop c2, but I have knight d4 now. Yeah, this is winning. Say if he pushes b2, I can just take, and that gives the exchange back. However, I'm winning easily. All my pieces are out and about, and I have 2 pawns to show for it. But knight d4, clearly what lost me the game. Knight takes, and I just give him the rook. Just flat out give it to him. And once I got to this position, I was just shaking my head. Oh my god, what did you do? I had a winning position and winning to, okay, let's see if I can fight for a draw. So I moved bishop b5, blocking off some squares for the knight. I didn't want the knight to here, so now the knight goes to a6. He moves his bishop to g7, rook to e1, knight a6, and definitely what gives everything away is taking that knight. A lot. I should have kept this bishop. It's probably one of the most active pieces that would have helped keep me in the game. I should have just pushed the pawn to d6, rook to d8, queen g5, knight c5, d7. There's a little trick here, a little nasty trick. He can't take. For instance, knight takes pawn, bishop takes pawn. If the rook takes, I have a nice threat of checkmate. So that's just devastating. So if he takes with the knight and notices, hey, I can't take, you know, there's just stuff that he can't do. So let's say knight e6, queen takes f5, and I'm still in decent shape. I still got chances for a draw here. This pawn is doing its job, and you know I have potential to push this pawn as well. So my pieces are very active, passive. So back to the original position. I take, clearly the wrong move. I was actually hoping that he was going to take with the rook. For instance, rook takes bishop, rook e8 check, bishop, queen g5 check, queen g6, queen to d8 or e7. E7 looks nice. He's got to defend, queen h6, h3, get off that back rank, f4. I don't know, it is still a little hazy. Maybe some drawing chances here, maybe not. Black could probably pull this one off. But he did take with the queen, and the rest of this game is just pretty much me just giving it, you know, just letting it play out. Here I played queen d5. At this moment I was down to about 2 minutes, and I couldn't figure out because I went from winning to losing. So I played queen d5, just giving him the pawn. Rotates, rook e8, bishop. Let's move the king. King check. I have to take, and the rest is just me losing. I eventually actually lost on time, but I was just going to play it out. Might as well. And that's the end right here. So the lesson learned here is when you're ahead, don't get cocky. Reevaluate the position. Reevaluate the position and find the correct move.